You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Oh, what is up? What is up? What is up? Yankees universe. Welcome back to a special episode of the Yankees Morning Brew at the winter meetings. I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compañera this morning, or this evening, I should say. I got the lovely Grace Monroe. And all you Yankee fans, get your bourbon, get your tequila. We got
Get
some
your
stuff to talk
bourbon.
about. Grace, how you doing, Grace?
First of all, I'm so disappointed, Hector. I thought I would have taught you by now. You're supposed to say, howdy, y'all. I thought I would have. Just so y'all know, I did get Hector some Texas barbecue. Okay, so we are trying to acclimate him to the lifestyle and the ways of living in Texas. But I guess I couldn't get him to say a howdy, y'all. But we'll work on that later, Hector. We'll work on that. But howdy, y'all. Nice to see you down here in Texas.
Yes, me and Grace was able to link up. First of all, Grace is amazing. Shout out to Grace. Her and her husband, they showed me an amazing time, great barbecue. But besides that, besides all the mushy stuff, we got over 50 people in the building rocking out with us. You guys know why you're here. You're here because the Juan Soto contract happened. You're here because Max Fried done signed with the Yankees. Grace, let's get a litmus test. How you feeling between 1 to 10?
Whew, okay, well, if you would have asked me 30 minutes ago, probably would have been a different number, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 6 with a hopeful 7 on the way. I'm hoping Cashman's cooking. He's out there wheeling and dealing. Aaron Boone is on site. Meredith Marakovitz is walking around. Like, stuff's getting done. Okay, so we're not done. So I'm gonna give it a nice 6 with hope.
Yeah. I would say I'm around the same way. Let me know if you can hear me or not, because I'm leaning over. I would say I'm a solid 6. Listen, we all felt like it was a gut punch when Juan Soto signed with the New York Mets. That's the reality that we're living in right now. With Juan Soto signing with the Mets, he is going to spend the next 10 to 15 years in Queens. So it is what it is. Shout out to my guy Ghost is in the building. But when it comes to the Max Fried situation, I don't know what the final numbers was with the other teams, but for the past hour before the news dropped, everything was 7 years. That was the number that was thrown out there, 7 years, 7 years. And within the last 15 minutes, it started to be reported that the Yankees are the favorite for Max Fried. And then it came out that the Yankees threw in an extra 8 years. So I'm not sure if there was another team involved on the Max Fried sweepstakes and the Yankees had to up their offer. They saw what happened with Juan Soto when they tried to play low ball, and the Yankees' priority after Juan Soto was Max Fried, so they went hard with that extra year. And credit to the front office to make the first big splash after Mr. Soto signed with Queens.
I had heard that the Red Sox were in on Soto. So, I'm sorry, not Soto. Fried. Oh, God, Soto on the brain. Get him away from me. I have moved on. I am totally over it. Anyway, Max Fried, I heard that the Red Sox were in on him as well. So that may have been the other team that was being aggressive toward getting Max Fried. I know that the Red Sox fans are, everybody's talking about the Yankees fans taking it hard that they lost Soto. But don't forget, the Red Sox fans thought they had a chance to get Juan Soto.
Yes.
And they are absolutely devastated. They have had nothing to cheer about for a couple years now. I know they secured their manager of the future, supposedly. But other than that, I don't want to listen. No love lost between me and the freaking Red Sox, okay? So I'm not going to start feeling sorry for them now. They deserve their misery. But other than that, oops, we got the picture you wanted. So suck it. He's a Yankee now.
Yeah, definitely. Ghost, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know if you could jump on with me and Grace. We're going to bring Future up in a second. But Ghost, let me know. Throw a thumbs up and I'll send you the link so you could join us as well. Yes, and like Jacob said, it was confirmed that the Red Sox and Rangers were the other two teams involved. I'm just not sure which team had the 7-year offer before the Yankees came in with that last final 8 year. Also, the Red Sox were heavy on Juan Soto as well, but I think the Red Sox offered probably one of the cheaper contracts. Like they try to shoot for the stars, trying to get Juan Soto. That ain't work out. But it is what it is. I just
cheaper, but it was still a lot of money. And honestly, nobody thought that it was going to get even to 700 million. I remember when Jazz Chisholm just casually said in that interview with Meredith, sign him. And Meredith said, I would ask you how much, but we'll leave that for another day. He goes, 700 million. And he thought that was hyperbolic. He thought he was like saying a crazy number for his buddy, and then we would all laugh. And we did. We were like, 700 million, that's crazy. Like that's Jazz is being crazy right now. I'm sure the Red Sox made him what would have been a competitive offer maybe last year or a year before. Yeah. We would have thought that it was a crazy offer. Maybe they offered, like, let's say I don't know, but let's just say that they offered him 680 million. We probably would have thought that would have got it done a couple years ago, but the number went to an astronomical place. A place where only the Yankees and the Mets could go, right? So yeah. So no disrespect. I'm sure they made a great offer. This was incredible amount of money.
Yeah, when you look at the Juan Soto contract, I got two ways to look at it, right? And before I continue, I want to shout out Theo Nosebleed section in the building. Nosebleed, how are you doing, Theo? I miss you and I love you. He said Jays and Sox were the other two teams on Max Fried. You got throwing the Rangers as well. The Blue Jays are heavy on everybody because the Blue Jays ownership group, they have money and no one wants to take their money. It's so bad that there's a certain MLB or a certain former MLB player that's trying to make his way back into the big leagues. I'm not going to speak of his name, but we all know who he is. His agent was with the Blue Jays for about like 30, 45 minutes, sell them on their client. Again, I'm not saying his name because he's a douchebag. But again, let's shout out the chat. Let's keep it going. Shout out to Kev NYC in the building. Kev, how you doing? Jacob Petruzzi, my brother Jacob, hammers in the building. Any more news tonight? I was telling NFE, now that the Yankees signed Max Fried, the priority after Juan Soto was the starting rotation. That was the priority. After this is talking with other people off the record, the strategy for the Yankees from what they heard was to try to re-sign Juan Soto. That was priority one. After Juan Soto, it was to sign Max Fried because the Yankees, when you look at either Max Fried and Corbin Burns, both of them have a history of injuries, right? But when you look at Max Fried, his injuries are more blisters, not shoulders or elbow concerns like you may have with a Corbin Burns. When you look at Corbin Burns as well, the past 3 years, he's been declining a little bit when it comes to his stats. His strikeout rate has gone down, walk rate has gone up, the velocity on his fastball started to lose it just a little bit. So if I was the Yankees, I would have been more comfortable giving it to Max Fried opposed to Corbin Burns, because Max Fried's injuries, they're just blisters and obliques, has nothing to do with mechanics, has nothing to do with the elbows and the shoulders. So that's why I was happy with Max Fried. And I think now that the Yankees have signed Max Fried, you'll see the next move be a bat, whether that's trading for Cody Bellinger, whether that's signing Teoscar Hernandez, yet to be seen.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. We definitely need to focus on getting a lefty bat. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. That's a Southern saying, y'all. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but and I want to celebrate us getting Max Fried. That's a huge win. I think that it makes our rotation absolutely lethal as it stands right now. You've got Garrett Cole, you've got Max Fried, you've got Luis Gil, there is no pitcher with a brighter future in the American League than Luis Gil. Rookie of the year. And then you've got Rodon, and then the fifth spot is kind of, who knows? Nestor, I guess, Schmidt, Stroman, like whoever. Hi, TC. Whoever.
TC, I still can't stand Brian Cashman.
Whoever, but we have a strong rotation now, right? And we have some flexibility now to maybe make a trade and still have a really strong rotation. We're in a good spot with our starting rotation now. I feel like we're dealing from a position of strength. Now we can go out and make any moves that we need to make from a position of strength, as opposed to a desperate situation, right? I mean, getting Max Fried changes everything, right? He he is a lefty dog, like 7-pitch mix, 3-time Gold Glove winner, World Series champion dog, like road tested guy. Like, I love it. He's an agility pitch mix guy, not really a velocity guy. So perhaps we don't have to worry about the dreaded, elbow injury and the TJ situation and all that stuff with him nearly as much as you would with a pitcher like Corbin Burns, who's known for, gas and strength and stuff like that. He's more of an agility guy, and I like that. Ground ball contact, he's going to be great. I'm really excited. This is who I wanted. This is my number one pitcher. You guys can go back a couple of weeks ago. I was saying, I want Max Fried. I don't want Blake Snell. I want Max Fried. That's who I wanted. This was my guy. Yeah, of course. You were there too, for sure. So, sorry, I wasn't excluding you. I was just saying,
no, I know.
I'm so happy. I'm happy we got Max. That's who I wanted. And so now, what are we doing next? Hector, you brought up a lefty bat. I agree.
Yeah.
The next thing we need to do is get a lefty bat. As soon as Soto was taken out of the lineup, you're like, oh shit, they're just going to walk Judge. I mean, they're just going to walk Judge. Why wouldn't they? Who's going to protect him? Who's going to be around him? Who's going to get on base in front of him? We got some issues now that we need to address in the lineup. Jason Dominguez, lefty power bat. I know the type of year he had last year. I know about his injury struggles, but I know this guy's potential. He's so young, y'all. Please do not give up on Jason Dominguez yet. I believe in Jason Dominguez with everyday reps. If he gets confidence behind him from Cashman, from Boone, if he gets a chance, a good run, not, hey, come up and you'll be on the bench and we'll play you every once in a while and you'll pinch hit. No. If he gets a good run, this kid has absolute star potential. I'm not lying.
No, I'm right. I'm right there with you, Grace. When you look at Max Fried, when you look at other free agents that are out there, I know Jacob talked about Christian Walker. When you look at Max Fried, he comes from a winning organization. He comes from the Atlanta Braves. And again, shout out to Future and Ghost. I got you guys backstage. I'm gonna bring you up in like 2.3 seconds. I just wanted to get this first thought out with Grace and bring you guys up to rock out with us. When you look at Max Fried, he comes from a winning organization. He comes from the Atlanta Braves. He won a championship with the Atlanta Braves as well.
Right.
Are there some concerns that the Braves let him walk away? Absolutely. Whenever you have organizations that
Hector, I got something. I got something. Let me tell you this. I just saw this online.
Go ahead.
It's right about what you're saying right now. So let me just insert this and I'll let you cook. I was looking up some of Max Fried's stats so that I would be prepared. And what came up was a blog, what I think is a blog post on housethathankbuilt.com, which I can only assume is a Braves website, right?
Yeah.
And the headline reads, quote, Braves nightmare becomes reality as Max Fried leaves for all-time nemesis. That's the headline of the article. So if you think the Braves wanted to see him leave, don't think that. If you think the Braves love the Yankees also after all these years, apparently not. Apparently they still hate us. Who knew? Who knew we were their all-time nemesis still to this day? But okay. So anyway, I wanted to say that because what you were talking about Max Fried and the Braves and everything. So go ahead.
No, for sure. Max Fried, he spent the last 8 years pitching with the Atlanta Braves. Like I said, won a championship with the Braves, established himself as one of the top starting pitchers in the National League. So I like the signing. You guys all know the points that I made earlier when it comes to his injury concerns, when it comes to Max Fried and his stuff. Max Fried, top end starting pitcher, and when you pair him with Garrett Cole, you just make your starting rotation so much better. Because if they're healthy, and that's the big concern, is if Garrett Cole, number 1, Max, number 2, Carlos Rodon, number 3, Luis Hill as your number 4 starter. The guy who just won the American League Rookie of the Year will be your number 4 starter, and then you pencil in either Clark Smith, Nestor Cortez, or Marcus Stroman, depending on who you keep, or depending on who you trade away. I just want to shout out Li Yankee King. Li was talking. I was talking with Roki Sazaki's agent earlier, and Li, I just want to let you know, Li is gonna hate me for saying this, but I still love Li Yankee King. Roki Sasaki, according to his agent, he struggled with the Japanese media. They were very harsh and very nasty with Roki Sasaki. Health issues, setbacks, not the American-based Japanese writers, the Japanese writers over there in Japan. So it looks like Roki may be leaning towards a small market team. Automatically, the first team that comes to my mind are the San Diego Padres. He has that connection with Yu Darvish. He is a smaller market than the Dodgers, but his agent did say he's not opposed to playing for a big market. So let's see what happens when it comes to Roki Sasaki. I just saw Li in the chat, and I've been thinking about Li ever since like 1 o'clock when I had that conversation with the agent. So shout out to my guy Li Yankee King. Again, let's shout out the chat real quick before we bring up the other two folks to join us. Shout out Alex in the chat. Shout out my girlfriend. She said, make sure to hit that like button. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am struggling with my girlfriend. I miss her so much. But shout out to the chat. Let's keep things going. Jacob Petruzzi is in the building. Jacob, I'll get to your question when it comes to Christian Walker. Now that's the chatter. Christian Walker. Christian Walker is the chatter. When Aaron Boone was on with that.
You're muted, Heck. So Christian Walker is a defensive first baseman, right? Very strong defensively. Still has some stuff to give on the offense. Not a huge power bat guy, but has some stuff to give. There's a lot of chatter that people want to get him. The big drawback is his age. I think he's nearing the peak, if not coming over this, starting to come over on the other side of the hill, if you will, of baseball players, not of regular life people, but of baseball players. So there are some concerns there. That's my concern with him, is his age, is he would probably be wanting to sign a 3, 4, 5-year deal. And I'm very reticent to enter into anywhere in that year range with Walker. I know. Oh, Damien, hi.
My brother Damien, how you doing? No, I agree with you. Sorry, for some reason when my headphone die, it just throws my mic off and I have to reconnect it. It's very stupid. But no, I agree with you with Christian Walker. I know some people had some concerns because last year he only hit 26 home runs. He missed about 30 games. So he only played 130 games the year prior. You can tell that this guy is durable. 160 games 2 years ago, 157 games, and then 130 games last year. Shout out to Cheesy Soul Cakes in the building. My guy, Cheesy Soul Cake. So I'm going to bring up Future and I'm going to bring up Ghost to join us in on the conversation. They're going to rock out with us. We're just going to go live to about like 6:15. We're just going to talk overall about the Max Fried signing, about Christian Walker, and then the four of us will give our take when it comes to the man who is the villain. Now, he's a villain now in my eyes when we talk about Juan Soto. So I'm gonna bring up Future and I'm gonna bring up Ghost. Ghost, my brother de la Isla, how you doing? And Future, the young king. Future, how you doing?
I'm chilling. I am actually very, very happy. Like, I was not as angry as I thought I would be when we lost out on Juan Soto, and it's for different reasons entirely. Ghost knows my stance on that. But getting Fried, and Ghost knows this, I've been asking for Fried for a minute now. Mm-hmm. I think when it came down to Corbin Burnes and Fried was the guy I wanted. Seeing Fried in pinstripes, oh my gosh.
So hype. I'm excited too.
Future, relax. It's a family show, Future. Okay, calm down.
No, I love it.
Ghost, my brother. What's your thoughts, Ghost?
You know what it is to have to lick my wounds, and I have my brother here constantly reminding me about the Soto signing every few seconds or every few minutes. It hurts. It hurts. But I have mentioned this in spaces before that we needed an ace to back up Cole. We needed an ace to back up Cole. I said this time and time again. And here we are. We got a Max Fried for $218 million. Well worth every penny. He is the guy that we needed, and I definitely think it was a smart plan. Obviously, losing Soto really just isn't the best thing in the world to happen to us, but getting Max Fried did help a little bit. But I don't think that getting someone else like a Christian Walker, who's 36 years old, is something I'm okay with, especially at his age. So I'm hoping that we can kind of get something a little bit, in the far sides of a little bit younger than 36. So hopefully we can get around to that as well.
Solid take. Go ahead, Grace. What's your thoughts on both of those takes?
On Christian Walker, I mean, like I said, yeah. I'm very, very hesitant to get him. I think his age bothers me. I know he won a Gold Glove. I know he did all that. I looked him up. I looked at his stuff. I know, but to me, something you can call it a gut instinct or whatever you want to call it. I'm not feeling it. Now, if they get him, I will be cheering for him. He'll be my guy along with everybody else on the team. And I'll want nothing but success for him. But until that happens, I'm not gonna be begging for him. I know a lot of people want him. I don't feel that. I don't feel that. So I want Cody Bellinger. That's who I want. I would like the Yankees to put together a modest package because I think that would get it done because we would be absorbing and helping the Cubs absorb salary and getting the salary off that they desperately need. They've been trying to move Cody Bellinger. Nobody has been wanting Cody Bellinger, and I think that he's a great fit for us. We could either put him in the outfield or have him play first base. He's a lefty. He would love the short porch. I looked up his spray chart a couple nights ago. It's all to right field. I mean, heavily to right field. He would love to play in Yankee Stadium. He wants to be a Yankee. We were talking about the measured risk of signing anyone to come to the Bronx. And part of what makes people less of a risk is if they truly want to be a Yankee and want to wear the pinstripes, and Cody does. So to me, that means something, especially after Juan Soto spit in all of our faces after a year of us absolutely rolling out the red carpet for him, giving him the absolute best of our hearts, opening ourselves up like we don't usually open ourselves up for anyone but homegrown Yankees. Our captain, Aaron Judge, MVP, home run king, stepping away from right field to allow this mediocre fielder to come in and take right field from him, allowing the judges' chambers to be leased out to Juan Soto and the bleacher creatures to absolutely envelop him in love the way that they did. All of our fans, all of our merchandise, all of the Juan Soto freaking basketball jersey and whoever gives a shit day. Everything meant nothing to him. All he wanted at the end of the day was money. That's all he wanted. It was all a show. He's a businessman. At the end of the day, power to you. Go get your money. Go get, do what you do. It meant nothing to you. I see that now. Okay. Go do you, boo. Yeah. Go do you, boo. But believe me, Cody Bellinger wanting to be a Yankee means something. Aaron Judge wanting to be a Yankee means something. Giancarlo Stanton wanting to be a Yankee means something. Garrett Cole wanting to be a Yankee means something. So
I got contract details.
You got contract details? Go ahead. Because this is the first time we've been able to talk. Grace and I have been able to talk on the stream.
No, yeah, you got it.
Go. No. I was just letting the chat know. So it's like that's why we feel the way we feel. But go ahead, Future. What's the contract detail? This is for Max Fried?
Full no trade. The contract has no opt-outs or deferrals.
There we go.
So he's a Yankee. He's a Yankee for life.
So Future, he wanted to be a Yankee.
He's
Max
a
Fried
Yankee
wanted to be a Yankee
for life.
Welcome home.
No trade clause, no opt-outs. Perfect contract. I'm all for it. Shout out to my guy Ace, the Ace Avenue with the $2 super chat. let's effing go Yankees. I want Kyle Tucker next. Shout out to my guy Ace again with another $2 super checks. Tell us how you really feel, Grace Monroe. Absolutely. And you guys, we got over 240 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you guys can, please smack that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on Twitter, if you're watching us on Facebook or Instagram, the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube, because on YouTube we are sitting at 4,520 subscribers on our way to 5K subs. So guys, help us out when it comes to getting to 5K. I got a video that I want to play. I think this is a perfect video if some of you guys are wrestling fans, while having the conversation about Juan Soto and the betrayal. So I'm gonna play this video. We'll come back and I'll throw it over to Ghost and Future to lead the convo with the Juan Soto fiasco. Wow, what is that?
Great video.
Amazing video.
See, one without the other isn't any good. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. What a despicable. No! Oh my God.
And for those of you guys who are wrestling fans, you guys remember when Shawn Michaels hit Marty Jannetty in the face with the super kick. The biggest betrayal that happened in wrestling was that moment, because they were the top tag team at the time. Grace is like, what the fuck did I just watch?
I have no idea what
that was
happened.
betrayal. That was betrayal in real time. And that's what it felt like when Juan Soto stabbed the Yankees in the back. But this is the one thing I'm going to say. There's two sides of the coin with the Juan Soto situation. As a Yankee fan, yes, I'm upset that he chose Queens over the Bronx, that he chose the orange and blue over the pinstripes that we love so much, right? But reality is, Steve Cohen, when he brought the team, he came out there and said that he's going to spend like a drunken sailor. The consensus at the winter meetings, everybody believes that that was a horrible contract. Everyone here believes a horrible contract. It's great for the player. It's horrible for the team. And the first 10 years of that deal is going to be amazing. Let's see what happens for the last 4 to 5 years of that deal. That's the first thing out the way. Second thing that I want to bring up is Juan Soto. It's setting a new precedent for Latino players going forward. We have seen, especially over the past 20 or 30 years, Latino players, they get signed, especially out of the Dominican Republic, at 16 years old. By the time they're 24, 25, they get offered the contract extension so they don't hit free agency. Look at Acuna. Look at Albies. Both of them, when they signed their contract extensions, they were highly criticized by players, by the MLB Players Association, by the union, for not maximizing their value. So when you look at Juan Soto, yes, he's a generational talent, but he went to free agency, not only for himself and his family, but for the other players that are coming behind him. It's not Juan Soto and Scott Boras weren't the only ones saying we're going to go and get the most money that we can. No, the players union wanted Juan Soto to get all the money that he can, because Juan Soto will be setting the market for all the players coming forward to get the most money that they can. So I look at it as two sides. One, as a Yankee fan who's disappointed, but at the other side, as somebody who watches baseball, we're in a new day and age. Juan Soto is making the most money, more money than Messi, more money than any soccer player that's out there, more money than anyone else that's out there in the world when it comes to sports. He got his bag. And if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was me, I don't want to speak for Grace, Future, or Ghost, but if somebody offered me an extra $110 million to go sign with one team over the other, no matter how much I love that other team, I love $100 million also. that's just reality. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I would love to believe that if I was in Juan Soto's situation, I would choose the pinstripes, but money talk and bullshit walks at the end of the day. And $100 million is still a lot of money. It's not the $50 million that people were talking about. It's double that. It's a lot of money. Go ahead, Ghost. I'll toss it over to you, then toss it over to Future, and then I want to kick it back to Grace, because Grace is going to give us a segment of Grace's Corner.
Honestly, to be real frank with you guys, when it happened, it hurt. It hurt, but at the end of the day, it's a business. We have to keep it business-like, and we have to let it be as it is. A lot of Yankee fans overreacted, because it wasn't the end of the world. Because I think if you are a Yankee fan, you support your team no matter what. One man does not make the team. Let's make that very clear. Yes, he helped us, and I am grateful to his help for the 1 year that he gave us. I will never throw smoke or throw hate at him for whatever reasons are foretold, even if I'm infuriated with anger. That's not who I am. At the end of the day, I think he gave us what he could, and that's that. Adios, hasta luego. He got the biggest bag of his life, 51 million AAV at a 765 million deal, 15 years. God bless him. I'm never going to say an ill word about the man. My brother and I, we're rivaled. He's a Met, I'm a Yankee, and I congratulated him. I said, sir, you now have a generational player on your team. Enjoy him. He will be wonderful. You can make all the Juan jokes you want, this, that, and the other. God bless him. But at the end of the day, you as a Yankee fan, those who are Yankee fans, not anyone here in particular, obviously anyone in the chat here as well, not any of you guys, just everyone else outside of that circle reacted unrational. Burning your jerseys, freaking out, swearing, tagging him and calling him a coward and saying very nasty and hateful things to him is wrong. Because at the end of the day, it's his family that he's worried about. It's his financial future that he's worried about. It's about his life and what he decides. It's his choice, not ours. So that's what I want to say on that, because at the end of the day, we can be as angry and as hateful and spew everything we want against the man. At the end of the day, he made his decision. Now, whatever other things came out, that's between them and ownership. That has nothing to do with us. So I'm happy with where we're at. We have our players. We're going to continue to make success and bringing in other players with the money we have to create a World Series team, bringing in like a Cody Bellinger, bringing in a Max Fried who just signed with us, bringing in more help to create a very strong team for the next few years going forward. Obviously, forwarding with Jason Dominguez, Jazz Chisholm, Volpe, Austin Wells, etc. And then, of course, the bullpen. So I'm not worried. I'm happy with where we're at. I love my Yankees. I will die on that hill with my Yankee team. And at the end of the day, however anyone else feels about it, it is what it is. We lost Soto. I'm not really losing sleep over it. It happened. We move on. I think that's just where it's at this point.
Folks, we got over 300 people watching us collectively across all platforms. If you're on YouTube, we're sitting at 30 likes. Smack that like button for the y'all. Future, I'll throw it over to you and then kick it back over to Grace. Go ahead, Future.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. When it comes down to Soto, he wanted to be a Met. I've accepted it. He wanted to be a Met. I don't know how else I'm really going to sit here and look at it. We gave him a competitive offer that at its core looked like it was similar, but it ultimately ends up being an $805 million contract at its full title length. But he did not want to be here. And as much as I love the guy, I don't want a guy who doesn't want to be here. That's just where I stand. Congrats to the contract. Congrats to where you want to be. But seeing Max Fried, now I know I'm going to hear so much. Oh, the Max Fried contract isn't going to age well. Who cares? All contracts age horribly as the player gets older. If you have a problem like with big contracts, don't sign anybody. That's just the reality. You will never sign a big free agent. But Max Fried chose to be a Yankee, and those contract details mean something to me. Makes me feel happy that he wants to wear the pinstripes. He understands what it's like to be a New York Yankee. Juan Soto enjoyed his time as a Yankee, but he did not want to be a Yankee. That's where I've brought myself to. I was only angry because I didn't feel like the moves that are out there would be good enough for the team to win a World Series. But at the end of the day, the players got to play. The players got to play. All you have to do is make it to the postseason and then get hot. That's really all it comes down to.
Okay. Grace, I want to toss it back over to you.
I don't think that Juan Soto didn't want to be a Yankee. I don't believe that Juan Soto wanted to be a Met. I think he would have gone wherever gave him the most money. If that was the Blue Jays, if that was the Rockies, if that was the, White Sox, I think he would have gone there. I truly think it was about the money, and I'll tell you why, because everyone said that the Yankees were in the lead all day long until they had their offer was $718 million, and then they ended up upping it to $760 because they thought that that would get it done. And then Steve Cohen heard about it and said, this is it. There's no way the Yankees are going to go higher than this. Now I am going to take a 3-point shot from the logo, and I'm going to throw in a $75 million signing bonus that I know the Yankees can't match. Now that I've totally maxed out the Yankees, I'm going to offer $805 million on the total contract with what's it called, accelerators on the contract and all this stuff, and I know that I'm gonna get it. And then Juan Soto, and that was his right, he said done. So up until that last final offer, he was gonna be a Yankee, and it wasn't because he loved the pinstripes. It was because we were offering him the most money at the time. But then Steve Cohen came in and he said, yes sir, I will be taking that money, and good for him. I don't care. Like, I'm not judging him for taking the money. That's his right, okay? But I am a Yankees fan at the end of the day. I cheer for the laundry. So to me, you didn't want to be here. We tried to get you. We made you a fair offer. I'm proud of Hal. I'm proud of Cashman. I'm not one of those fans that is yelling and screaming at Cashman and Hal that they should have given him $800 million. Are you out of your mind? Are you outside of your mind?
Yeah.
We saw. Listen. I wanted to sign Juan Soto. Let me go on record right now. I wanted Juan Soto. He's a great hitter, but we know that he's not a good fielder. We know that he cost us runs in the postseason with his poor base running. And if you don't admit that to yourself, get the fuck out of here. We know that he shouldn't have been sent from third. He got tagged out at home a mile. He was out by a mile. Y'all remember this, okay? He's not a good base runner. He's not a good fielder, okay? That being said, I wanted to sign him, okay? We have the most conducive right field to any right fielder who maybe takes not that great routes and doesn't see the bat coming off the ball very well. But hey, he didn't want to be here. You know, we tried. You can't make, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. There's another Southern saying for y'all. I hope you got your pen and paper out. I got a million of them. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
I just got to say, Grace is cooking with some hot grease right now. Keep cooking, Grace.
Hector kept texting me and being like, are you okay? After the Soto, are you okay? And like an hour later, I was like, shit, I moved on. I don't even care. I moved on. I have moved on. Now, what I'm not going to try to listen to is Mets fans trying to dunk on us or take a lap on us because y'all still ain't done yet. Okay, all you've done is throw some money around. Cute. We've been doing that for years. And let me tell you, it doesn't always equate to a World Series championship. Just ask the Yankees. About that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done been spending this money, okay? It's not that easy. So call me. Go ahead and call me when you win the World Series, okay? Or, hey, even go. But this is not the time for you to be in a Yankees blog chat trying to dunk on them. Like, go be about your win. You just won. You won the biggest free agent of all time. Congratulations. Now get our name out your mouth. Go celebrate with your own team. You know, look forward to your own future. Why are you still up? Why are we still your number one main character? You know what I'm saying? It's giving little brother. It's giving you didn't win when you just won. Now, maybe you need the Yankees to teach you how to be a winner, because when you win, you don't go in the losers chat and try to stir shit up with the losers. You go with your team and you look to your own self and your own business and your own future. Okay?
Facts. That's why I put the chat on subscribe only. And if you're a Met fan trying to be in the chat, you got to wait 10 minutes before your comment is even recognized. So shout out to you. Also, let's do a little quick roll call. Shout out to my guy, Big Slick. This is Big Slick from Twitter. If you guys aren't following Slick, what are you doing? He hosts great Twitter spaces as well. Great guy. Appreciate you for being in the building. My guy, Anthony. Anything on Walker, that's the name that's being circulated right now when it comes to Christian Walker. So that's all I have at the moment. I'll be walking around within like 10 more minutes. We'll end the stream so I can walk back around to see what's going on. Let's hit that like button. We got over 315 people in the building rocking with us. We got over 50 people on YouTube, and we're sitting at 31 likes. So smack that like button for the y'all, as we keep on going. Listen, when it comes to Juan Soto, hold on. Jacob put it in the chat. Jacob was like, Grace, I was texting Hector, asking if he was okay. Yeah, that's what. Look, Grace, I kept hitting up there and saying the same thing. So every time I text you, Grace, is because Jacob texts me, and I'm like, let me make sure Grace is okay as well. So shout out to my guy Jacob for looking out for us in the building. Ghost, I'm tossing it over to you, my guy Ghost. Ask somebody whose brother's a Met fan, right? And I could relate because my mother is a Yankee fan, right? So I could relate on that point. But as somebody whose brother's a Met fan, the Mets have a lot of pressure in this upcoming season. There's a lot of pressure that's going to be on the Mets. It's something that, as Yankee fans, it's something that we've been living through for a very long time, especially since we haven't won a championship since 2009. And like you said, Grace, is still little brother energy. That's what the Mets, they still have a high hill to climb over. Shout out to the Met fans that are in the building, that are in the chat. I appreciate you guys, but they're going to be in uncharted waters. They're going to have the big target on their back going into the season. Regardless of the moves that the Yankees make, the Yankees are maybe creeping under the radar, maybe the underdogs going into the 2025 season. All the pressure is going to be on the New York Mets. Ghost, I'll toss it over to you. Speak on that real quick for a second, and then toss it over to Future, because Future's chuckling over there. I want to know what Future's going on off.
I really don't know what their direction is, but getting Juan Soto to I'll speak fairly to them. They did make a big splash, and if they can continue to make big splashes, the thing that I want to see is how they handle against Philly, how they handle against Atlanta, a healthy Atlanta Brave team, and how they face off against a Dodger team. And that's really going to tell me where their stands are with the Mets, right? Because obviously getting Juan Soto is a very huge step, and paying him $51 million AAV is a lot of money. But honestly, I think the Yankees have always been the underdogs. You always have to see us fighting and scrapping against everybody, and always being told that we're not going to win this, we're not going to win that. And then when we do win, we either have the easiest road to the World Series, or we had the easiest run to the World Series, this, that, and the other. There's always an excuse train coming right behind it. So I think at the end of that discussion is for really to see where the Mets are and whatever other pieces they pick up, and see where they go from there. Because I really don't know what they're going to do. Because right now they got Juan Soto. What's next? That's it? That's all you're going to do? You're going to just shut up and throw me the 22 every few seconds you can, while the Yankees are actually going to fix their entire – well, not fix their entire thing, but they're going to pick up a few more pieces to make their team a lot better and adjust and really just do what they can on the offensive side, on the bullpen side, and on the pitching side. So it's really just the ball's in their court at this point. Let's see what they can do, and if they can do more moves, great. And if they can't, whatever. But another name that people are throwing around for the Yankees to try to make a move, which I don't think it's going to happen, is a Kyle Tucker. Would I love to have Kyle Tucker on this team? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to have that monster on your team? That man is a dog. And obviously he's a great defender, great offensive production player, and great at the plate. Who wouldn't want to have him? Now, I don't know what they're going to do and what it's going to require to get a Kyle Tucker. I highly doubt it's going to happen this offseason. But if he is available in free agency and we can afford to get to him, then that'd be somewhere I think I'd be very happy to get. But I don't think we're going to do the same thing we did with Kyle Tucker, probably get him for the year, and then he's not convinced to come play for us, unless we agree with the Astros that if he comes over, he's going to have to sign an extension, is the only scenario I could see in that way happening. But I doubt he's going to do that, because he's probably going to go, as I said before, and I mentioned on Twitter, he's going to go to the highest offer to the guy who's paying him the most money. So whether it's us or somebody else, I don't really see that scenario panning out too well. But if it happens, it happens. But at the end of the day, it's Mets put up or shut up at this point, right? So if they can put up, then great. If they shut up, then you might as well stay as little brother, getting one man that's going to define nothing when your team doesn't win anything.
Ghost, you didn't hear they got Clay Holmes?
They got cardiac Clay.
They got Clay Holmes. They got
Clay. I forgot about that.
I swear to God, they're actually happy. They're happy about it, y'all. I'm serious. I'm serious. It's high comedy. They're actually happy. Hold on.
They got Frankie Montas, right? Game changer, right? They got Clay Holmes. They hit that shit out the park. They had Jonathan Loaiziga, amazing. When he's healthy, he's awesome. And they got Jose. They got Jose Siri. Jose Siri. The Jose. Check this out. The Jose Siri who defended Wander Franco.
Okay.
That's who you guys have on your team. The only player on his team that defended him was Jose Siri, and that's who you guys have on the Mets. Have some fun next year with that shit.
I plead the fifth on the comments of that.
I saw a tweet that had me cracking up. That was like, the ink hasn't even dried on Clay Holmes' contract, and he's already walked the bases loaded. And I was like, y'all are wild out here on Twitter. Y'all are wild.
Yankees Twitter.
I forgot to bring up Clay Holmes, so I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Clay Holmes. Future, I'll toss it over to you, Future. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, look, that Mets team, they have a decent lineup. Let's not lie to ourselves. They have a decent lineup, and now it got bolstered up. It got bolstered up with Soto. Now the rotation and bullpen. Now that's a conversation. I mean, look, Clay Holmes, we fixed him. Let's not deny ourselves in terms of statistics. Clay Holmes became a better pitcher. As a starter, and then Frankie Montas is like, that's another passion project. You know, it's like that rotation looks like a passion project. And I look at the Yankees rotation, we upgraded. When I felt like we were, like, if I'm being honest with you, we did not really need to upgrade because we had a full rotation. Now you can like have your opinion on it. I personally didn't feel like it was that much of a necessity because we already had a rotation and there's a lot of guys that I would have liked to see, but we upgraded to the point where that rotation could be could very much easily, when everybody's healthy, a top 5 rotation in the league. Mm-hmm. And then the bullpen is another thing that usually irons itself out throughout the season anyways. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like the Mets have a great offense, but if we can bolster our defense by getting Tucker, Bellinger, and Walker, and, you know, they have their offensive strides as well, the Yankees could be a well-oiled machine, a more rounded team, which is something we haven't had in forever. And I loved having Soto because we got to our first World Series with Juan Soto in 15 years. Mm-hmm. But maybe if you have a more rounded team, if we can just get, and since the AL feels a lot weaker, getting back to the World Series is going to be, also what's up, Steven, is going to be not going to be easy, but it definitely feels very possible. And if you steal Kyle Tucker from the Houston Astros, that would be funny. To me, that would be funny.
Listen, when it comes to Kyle Tucker, and I'll throw it back over to Grace. And again, shout out the chat. We got Nosebleed Section, Jacob Petruzzi, TC Stills is killing it. Stephen B. Stephen B. is in the for this whole season, I've been calling this motherfucker Stephen. His name is Steven. Stephen B. is in the building. Shout out to Steven in the building. My guy 19 Comment is in the building. How you doing? David is in the building. I think I saw my guy Dennis. Dennis, how are you doing? Shout out to my guy Big Dennis in the building. I got a video that I want to play. I was able to get a one-on-one with Chris Kreisner. You guys know him from the Yankee beat writer from The Athletic. I got his take when it comes to the Juan Soto contract. So I'm just play this video and we'll be right back to break it down.
Contract was a crazy number. I don't think it's one that anyone really expected. You know, for him to get $765 million with the opportunity to get to $805 million, it's wild to think of because, you know, this last offseason, Shohei Ohtani got $700 million, and you can make the case that Ohtani is the greatest player ever, but you also have to factor in that Soto is 26 years old. He just finished third in the American League MVP race. You know, we're talking about one of the best 5 players in the sport. So you factor all that in, it's not really a surprise that he ended up getting the contract that he got, but in the end, when you see the number come out last night, it is crazy to think that, you know, he is approaching almost $1 billion to play baseball. And I think it's the only team that could have landed him with this kind of deal. You know, Steve Cohen is the richest owner in sports, and he flexed his financial might last night, and that's what we saw.
And that's a great point. Like he said, the Mets are the only franchise that can make that type of offer with Steve Cohen as the owner of the team. If you're the Mets, you have to overpay in order to get Juan Soto, in order to pry him away from the New York Yankees. You have to overpay. If you're the New York Yankees, your best bet is you can't let anybody else take you as a fool. You can't let anybody else just use the New York Yankees to up the asking price. And that's what Scott Boras did after last year's offseason with the debacles and not getting certain players certain type of contracts. Scott Boras, that was his priority, to make sure that he got Juan Soto paid and to make sure that everybody remembers that his name is Scott Boras at the end of the day. Respect that man. That's what an agent does. He has 2 record-setting contracts. He has the A-Rod contract underneath his belt as an agent, and now he has the Juan Soto contract. And like Chris said, we're going to get into that realm where sooner rather than later, there's going to be a baseball player that cracks that 1 billion mark. It's just, when is that going to happen? Go ahead, Grace. I'll toss it over to you. We're gonna do last final takes before we get ready to wrap things up, because I gotta head back to the hallway.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. The way that contracts just double or triple every 5 to 10 years, I mean, it's going to happen for sure. Especially if you have a player coming up that is like a two-way player, like not necessarily a Shohei Ohtani style two-way, but like if they can play defense and offense, and they're young. I mean, come on. It's going to happen for sure. Juan Soto deserves his money. No hate. You know, it is what it is. But if you think I'm going to cry over it, I'm not. You know, sorry, you're going to have to go to somebody else's stream because I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry about it. But yeah, I did hear something for the first time that hadn't been leaked before, that Hal did, in fact, approach Juan Soto during the season to attempt to get an extension. And Juan Soto said no. That came out today. I heard that today. I hadn't heard that yet. And there were people, fans and whatever, speculating, oh, Hal, he didn't even try to extend Juan Soto. He should have extended him in the season, and blaming Hal. And no, Hal tried. Hal tried. He wanted to hit free agency. He wanted to. And this was, you know, I'm sure a hallway where Boras wasn't even around. Juan Soto wanted that money, and he got it. And, you know, good for him. You know, mazel tov, whatever, you know, but it wasn't that Hal didn't try. He went to a place where he was not comfortable going. He tried for us, the fans. And he's down for us, y'all. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real. He did it for us, and he tried. And Juan Soto could not be had for us. It wasn't never gonna happen. If we had said 800 million, Steve Cohen would have said 900 million. I mean, it could have kept going. Like, Hal tapped out, and I can't blame him. I'm not mad at Hal. I'm not mad at Cashman. So it wasn't about a suite. It wasn't about the security guard. It wasn't about the blue and orange, okay? It was about the money. And Susan Waldman, I heard on an interview, and I trust her implicitly. She would not lie. She has maintained from day one, the day she met Juan Soto, she said, I met him. He's going to go to the highest bidder. Michael Kay said the same thing all year long. All year, those two who were around him quite a bit said, Juan Soto, nice guy, gonna go to the highest bidder. It doesn't mean he didn't have a great time on the Yankees last year. It doesn't mean he didn't love Aaron Judge or love Gleyber Torres or any of the guys. To me, I think he had a great time as a Yankee. I think he had a great time as a Padre. I think he had a great time as a National. I think Juan Soto is just a nice guy who has a great time wherever he goes. He's just a nice guy, and he wanted the money. Two things can be true at the same time.
Great take, Grace. Folks in the chat, drop the 100 emojis for Grace Monroe right now. Ghost, go ahead. Last take when it comes to the conversation, and then toss it over to the young King Future. We'll get ready to wrap things up. Go ahead, Ghost.
No, I'm happy to have this conversation with you guys, Hector, Grace, Future. It's always awesome to have a conversation with you and everyone here. My last take is I hope we see at least another move tonight. At least another move, another infielder, maybe a trade. Maybe get Cody Bellinger. Hell, maybe combine a Cody Bellinger with a Nico Horner. fix your first and second base right there off rip.
Bingo.
That'll be the easiest trade you can do with now adding the additional pitcher. They may need a little help on the pitching side, maybe a little help with some prospect we can throw at them for them both. I think that can be plausible. And then if they want to make another move after that or sign somebody else because they have the money, it's not like they're just sitting there with that $760 million going out of nowhere because they can probably offer that to somebody else. But I would love to see that happen, at least a trade. At least a trade tonight, maybe something else tomorrow.
Yeah, there got to be some rumblings, right? Brian Cashman understands that Yankee. This is one thing I was joking earlier. Yankee fans and Yankee fans being mad in the same sentence. Oh my God, who would have ever thought that would happen? But Brian Cashman understands how Yankee fans feel in this moment. Future, I'll toss it over to you to get your final take. And shout out to the folks in the chat. My guy, the fly guy, Keith McPherson's in the building. Keith with the 100 for Graves. Shout out to Keith. Go ahead, Future. And then we got somebody else who jumped backstage. We got Jason from 161. Go ahead, Future, and I'll bring up Jason. Go ahead.
The only thing I could say is give me just seriously, and I'm being serious when it comes to Cashman. Cashman, please. I know you and Hal did your best to get Juan Soto, and I will commend you for that because y'all went above and beyond. I am not a big Cashman and Hal guy, but I can't deny the reality that is they did well in trying to bring him back. So I would say just go get Cody, maybe try to make a move to get Tucker, but give us a well-rounded team so that we can look positively into the 2025 season. That's all I got to say.
Bingo. Great take. Jason, the man from 161 is in the building.
Guys.
Jay came at the last second, but the last time ain't always the last time for my guy Jay. Jay, go ahead, bro. Let them know how you feel.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, Grace, how are you? I'm pretty happy that this Fried signing happened. They needed to get another arm. And this leaves, the lower AAV leaves them room to trade one or two of their starters now to get a bat. So, and I do think Fried comes with a qualifying offer, so they got to give up 2 draft picks. So I can't see them signing, even though I heard they were close with Christian Walker in advanced talks with him. I have a feeling they're going to probably pivot towards Bellinger in a trade. But if you can somehow get Bellinger and Tucker, man, that would be huge. A huge offseason for the Yankees. Like we were talking about this last night. Like Bellinger, you probably have to give up cheap prospects, right?
Cheap low-end prospects, probably guys in the DSL.
Yeah, and like for Tucker, he's probably going to be Luis Hill, and either Spencer Jones or Roderick Arias or Jason Dominguez for Tucker. But you do that in a heartbeat to get to Kyle Tucker, and then if you can get an extension agreed on as well. But if you think about it, you get Fried and you lock up Tucker. That's still less than it costs Juan Soto. So yeah. This is a good start for the Yankees.
It's a good start. It's the first domino to fall, and like Grace said, all is not lost. And everybody they've been on pins and needles waiting for the Yankees to make a move. They've been waiting for the Yankees, their first domino to fall after the Juan Soto situation. I was talking to somebody earlier, and they laid out the plan, and it makes sense. Juan Soto was a priority for the Yankees. That didn't happen. Priority number 2 was Max Fried. After Max Fried, now you got to check out the bats. You look at the different backs. Cody Bellinger was the hot topic in yesterday's conversations. After that, Teoscar Hernandez name came up, and now Kyle Tucker today. But like Jason said, Yankee fans, you got to ask yourself, if you're going to trade for Luis Hill, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to if you're going to trade for Kyle Tucker, are you willing to trade Luis Hill to the Houston Astros to have to face him for the next 6 years? Are you guys ready for that? Is that the reality you as Yankee fans want to live in? I'm not too sure if I'm sold on that. Grace, I'll throw it over to you. Grace, let's get your last takes because we're going to wrap things up. It's 6:30. I got to hit the lobby. I'm a little hungry. I got some chicken nuggies over there that I need to eat. Go ahead, Grace.
You need me to bring you some tacos, Hector? Because, I know the good places. I'm just saying I could be there in like 30 minutes.
I bet you do. I love you, Grace.
I love you too. I would be willing to listen to what the Astros want. If they want Luis Hill, let's talk about it. I wouldn't just not hear them out. If we could secure the extension of Kyle Tucker, absolutely, I would trade Luis Hill, and it would hurt because I love Luis Hill. But if you can secure the extension of Kyle Tucker, you do that. 8 days a week and twice on Sunday. There's another Southern phrase for y'all. So, yeah, I mean, we didn't lose the World Series because of pitching. Okay? So we lost the World Series because of defense and fundamentals, which Kyle Tucker has in spades. He is an incredible fielder.
Talk about it, Grace.
How many times has he robbed home runs from Aaron Judge, from Anthony Rizzo, from all these people when we played the Astros? I'm telling you, he broke our hearts a million times, making these incredible jumps and reaching over and stealing homers. I mean, this guy kills us, and he's an incredible bat. He doesn't have the same walk rate, the same maybe on base percentage, perhaps not the same eye as Soto, but he's as good of a hitter technically as Soto. He's got the same OPS, I think, as Soto for the last few years. I mean, this is an incredible guy. If you could secure an extension with him, you trade him. Now, you bring up my boy Jason Dominguez. No. I ain't trading Jason. I'm not trading him, y'all. I'm still not ready. I can't let go. I'm not ready. Okay, but if you want to talk about Luis Gil, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. If you want to talk about Spencer Jones, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. Why do I love Jason more than Spencer Jones? Y'all, we don't have time right now, but I promise you on the next Grace's Corner that I have an opportunity, maybe like next week or something after Hector gets back from the winter meetings, I will lay out a dissertation for you on why I believe Spencer Jones is the next Joey Gallo. And you will believe me by the time I'm done, okay? I'm not lying, y'all. I'm ready to trade Spencer Jones. But we're not touching Jason Dominguez. Not yet. Not yet. Okay? All right. I'm done.
Can I add something to that? Can I add to your point?
Go ahead, Jay, because you did come in late. Also, TC Stills, I'm gonna text you TC to see if you're free over the next couple of days. I need my guy TC to jump back up with me and Grace while I'm here at the winter meetings. Go ahead, Jason.
Just wanted to add one thing, that Houston Astros' #1 prospect is a corner outfielder. So you might not have to trade Dominguez or Jones. Maybe you can add Roderick Garriott to Luis Hill. You need an infield to replace Alex Bregman, right?
That's true.
So
there you go.
And you know, tying in this whole thing, like Garrett Crochet is going to get a haul in a trade. He has 2 years of control. Luis Hill and Clark Schmidt have 4 years of control. They're going to get a haul too. That's why Max Fried makes it more appealing to trade these guys.
Yeah,
Yankees can load up on bats here.
Yep.
Yeah. You're 100% right, Jason, hitting it on the head. Again, we got over 400 people rocking out with us today collectively. I know this was a last-minute stream that we put together. We were supposed to go live at like 11 or 12 this morning, but Aaron Boone had his press conference. There was a lot of scrambling, running back and forth. Just to let you guys know, on the docket today, Boone had his press conference 2 p.m. time that I'm in, 3 p.m. EST, and at the last second, they removed him off the board. They got rid of Brian Cashman's appearance with the MLB network. They moved Boone to 1 o'clock, and Boone was in that appearance instead of Brian Cashman. So Cashman, you could tell Cashman been working the phones. Cashman's been busy ever since the Juan Soto news dropped. And I just want to let you guys know, because I haven't been live with you guys. I was on Jason's channel. I was on NFE. Shout out to my guy Ace that's in the building. I called in last night to Keith, and I was talking with Keith for a real hot second. But this is the one thing I want to tell you guys. That Sunday, like after I left Grace and I came to the hotel and I settled in, the consensus in the lobby, everybody felt that Juan Soto was re-signing with the Yankees. Everybody felt that day Juan Soto was going to re-sign with the Yankees. Dexter Henry hit me up again. Shout out to my guy Dexter Henry. I was on with him late at night breaking down, doing a live reaction when the news broke. But everybody felt that he was going to the Yankees, and it was around 5:30. Right, 30 or 45 minutes before the news broke. It was around 5:30. I'm in the lobby and I see some of the people that I recognize from the Mets media and PR team walking through the lobby. And when that happened, I was like, "Whoa, That's a bit nervous right there. I'm a bit nervous seeing Met people in the lobby, and I haven't seen not one person from the East. So I was a bit nervous with that. And then the news came out 30, 45 minutes later that Juan Soto signed with the Yankees. And they were walking through like squad goal energy, right? You know, squad goal energy. You and your squad walking through the casino. You guys are just flying on cloud nine. That's how that Met media team looked when they was walking through the lobbies of the winter meetings. Listen, they got their big fish. Shout out to Steve Cohen. Shout out to the Mets organization. They are a class act over there in Queens. Like I say, when I go and cover the Mets for Latino sports, I get treated nice over there, right? When you look at the whole security situation with the Yankees, I'm not sure how real that is. If a situation happened, like Keith said on Twitter, I think that situation got napped in the butt. But when I go to Yankee Stadium, are there some Yankee security guards that take their job a little bit too serious? Absolutely. There's some guys over there that are top flight security of the world. You're security guard at Yankee Stadium. You're not the Secret Service for the president, but I get it. They have a job to do at the end of the day. I used to be in EMS, so I understand you have a certain responsibility. You have a certain duty that you have to do. So no shade to them. But again, if any of that outside noise or behind the scene noise, if any of that is true, that's something that the Yankees have to fix. And that's just a bad move for the Yankees, because over the past 15 to 20 years, there's been 2 free agents that didn't sign with the Yankees, and there's been background noise around it. It's Juan Soto, and it's Ken Griffey Jr. We understand that because of his father and stuff like that, but it's Cliff Lee. Those are the 2 guys that didn't sign with the Yankees, because one with Cliff Lee, Yankee fans was spitting on his wife in the postseason. That's disgusting. And the second thing with Juan Soto, his family didn't get treated right by some of the security guard. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But guys, we're gonna wrap things up. I am Hector. This is my guy Ghost. This is Future. Of course, Jason from 161 River Ave. Of course, the lovely Grace Monroe. Grace, when are you gonna come down to the lobby, to the hotel, so you and I can do a live Yankees Morning Brew together? What are you thinking?
Oh my God, live and in person? How exciting! Maybe I'll swing by. Who knows?
Yes, guys, pay attention. Make sure you hit the notification bell, hit that subscribe button as well. Ghost, drop your Twitter. Let them know your Twitter handle. Forever One Ghost. Forever One Ghost.
They can follow me at Forever One Ghost. I appreciate it, Hector. And as always, make sure to support Uptown Sports TV. These guys are amazing. I love helping them out here. These just a great group of people, and ladies. As I appreciate everyone here as well.
Yes, Future and Futuro. Let them know where they could follow you on Twitter, bro.
I put it in the chat already. I'm not one to just say it out loud because I'm just not that kind of guy. But I will get a Max Fried edit out in probably the next hour or so. So that's gonna be fun to watch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll send you the watermark so you can send me one too. I'll send you the Uptown Sports TV watermark so you can send me one so I can put it on the channel. Shout out to my guy Future. I just want people know that don't know the inner workings of how Uptown Sports TV work. When it comes to Yankees Morning Brew, yes, it's me, Grace, and Damien, but Future and Ghost, they're part of the team and they help us out tremendously, especially on Twitter. Future with his amazing edits and his amazing cuts. He's phenomenal. I love that young man. Ghost, my brother de la Isla. I love my guy Ghost. He does amazing jobs when it comes to Twitter Spaces, hosting Twitter Spaces. Make sure you guys tap in. We may have one later on tonight. And then, of course, Jason, last words, bro. Tell the people that you love them.
Love you all. You guys are the best. I appreciate all he is. I'll be live tonight at 9:30 if anybody wants to come and hang out. Love to have you guys on too, so you're more than welcome to. I sent you the link, Hector. Send it to everybody else in here if you'd like. And hopefully there'll be more news to break tonight. Hopefully Cashman's not done.
Yeah.
So kind of holy shit, he struck again. That'd be kind of cool to break tonight. So helping for something, but this is a good start. This is really So I appreciate all
definitely.
Really,
of course. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to my guy 19 Con Man. Love that guy to death. Stephen B in the building. TC Stills. We got a Donnie Clark shouting. Shout out to my guy Donnie Clark, who is in the building. What did I used to say, Ghost? A1 since day one, right? Ace Avenue is in the building. Shout out to Ace in the building, as Ghost is over there just losing his mind because he's like, what are you doing, heck? Shout out to everybody else who is in the building. Appreciate all you guys. Smack the like button, hit that subscribe button. TC Stills, I'll see you tomorrow. My guy Jonathan is in the building. Of course, 19 comment. And until next time, drink some water, say something positive about yourself. Brian Cashman is still the greatest GM of all time. Fight me in the comment section if you hate me. Deuces.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.